Welcome to the Local 586 Retirees Minute, where we sit down with the brothers and sisters who made our local what it is today. Today I'm sitting down with brother Arthur Burnett. How are you today, Arthur?
Good, good.
How and when did you start in the electrical trade?
I started in 1959, in the fall of 1959, with Comstock.
When did you join the IBEW, and what was your first job with the union?
I joined the IBEW, I can't remember now whether it was 63 or 64 back in those days. And the first job with the union was Carlton Lodge. It was a home for the aged out on Highway 16. The building is gone now, it's been replaced.
Do you remember who your first journey person was on that job?
The first journeyman was Roy Ford. He was the foreman on the job. I started in the fall. So at Christmas at that time, they laid off most of the guys, and the job out there pretty well closed down for the winter. So I stayed with the foreman on the job till about March, and they started to rehire them again.
What part of the electrical trade do you like most? Are you like a pipe guy, distribution?
I was a foreman for about 30 years, so I got involved with every part of the trade from start to finish. So it all became the same, really.
Is there a job that kind of sticks out in your mind?
Yes, in 1971, I'd done a job for Information Canada, and that was after the FLQ crisis in Quebec. And we made up this large dome in Ottawa. There was actually three of them made up, one for Quebec, one for Ontario, and one for BC. And it was self-sufficient with its own generator and everything. And after we had it made up, I went with the one for Quebec, all over Quebec with it. And we set up in every city in Quebec pretty well, for like the larger cities, for a couple of weeks. And we started off in Montreal, and then we went to Sherbrooke, Quebec, then to Drummondville, then to St. Hyacinthe, then to Three Rivers, Quebec City, Chicoutimi, and we ended in Edmundston, New Brunswick in the fall. And this was made up of, there was a lot of displays, and there was a theatre in it to show people how the government worked in Ottawa. Most of the people in Quebec hadn't been to Ottawa at that time. And it was more or less to acquaint the people with how the Parliament worked in Ottawa.
What lessons have you learned from being in the union, and what do you like most about Local 586?
Well, 586, it was much smaller when I joined, and you got to know most of the guys on the commercial side. And I found it a very good brotherhood, because you'd move from job to job doing jobs, and you ran into some of the same guys each time, and very interesting.
What would you like to say to a new electrical apprentice starting out at Local 586?
It's a very interesting trade, because every job you do is different. And there's different products coming in all the time, and different ways of doing things. And it's not a repetitious thing. All your life, it changes. Everything changes. You know, when I first started, like I was telling you, it was rigid conduit. Then it went to EMT, and now they have Corlon. That's just the type of conduits that we're using, you know. So it's very interesting for any person that has an interest in working with their hands.
I'd like to thank Arthur Burnett for speaking with us today. If you or someone you know is a retired member and would like to share their experiences on Retirees Minute, please contact the office. We would love to share your story. Thanks for listening.